Now, for this chapter of What's New for Hyundai for the 2021 model year is this Sonata N-Line. Just one of the many new models that Hyundai will introduce to markets for the 21 model year. What I can tell you right now is that it has been 99.9% confirmed that there will be no full-fat Sonata N. The N-Line is the top model, and to be quite frank, after having spent a fair amount of time driving the car just now, I don't think there's much room left in the platform to put more power and more capabilities, as this car is turning out to be a fairly entertaining drive. Now in Canada there will be a Sonata N-Line, and that's it. One price, one trim. That's it, that's all. $37,999. So you get the powertrain, the seats, the styling, all that. It's all included. Speaking of styling, I mean, the Sonata itself is a beautiful mid-size sedan. Quite possibly one of the most pretty in the segment. It is very dynamically styled, the parabolic dynamics design language, which can get a little bit heavy at times. However, it works pretty well with the N-Line. You can see some of the details unique to the N-Line, including this black, gloss black trim and these quad tailpipes, which happen to be real. Take note, AMG. I shouldn't say that. But you can see kind of the aero skirt kit, gloss black as well. These 19-inch wheels are included, which have kind of a retro cool, not exactly pretty, but very interesting styling to them. Okay, admittedly, I like them. That's it, that's all. And a slightly more aggressive front fascia and all kinds of other black trim. The car looks great. It absolutely does look great. I mean, as far as that's concerned, there isn't much else to say. I won't open the trunk, we don't need to see that. On the inside, obviously she locked herself up because she's locking herself up. There we go. All right. I'll just show you the back seat because why not? As usual, Sonata has tons of space in there, and now you're getting kind of a sample of what you can expect as far as materials on the inside. Same here with the red cross stitching. All right, so here we go. These are the N-Line specific seats, which are extremely heavily bolstered. Lovely Nappa leather, suede inserts, beautiful. Look at that, high backed too. So your shoulder blades are completely supported. Love that. Same thing with the rear doors. I kind of showed you the cross stitching, lovely Bose audio speaker grills. Now we'll slide inside the car, start her up. So standard with the Sonata N-Line, you'll get this 12.3-inch digital IP, which is configurable with the drive modes. So here we go, toggling. So there you have Sport Plus, and your custom mode, which you will work at through the menus right here, and you go into vehicle, and there you go, drive mode, and you configure it right through there. Look, layout on the inside is typical Sonata fare, which is very straightforward, very luxurious looking, premium design touches. Here's another little reminder that you're driving a special-ish car. If my memory serves, the buttons in the Sonata Hybrid that I drove, these are actually silver. These are kind of a dark gray, which is a nice little touch. As always, plenty of space in here. Visibility is quite good. I mean, it's a Sonata N-Line, so what we have to do now is drive it. So first we'll do that. Oh, maybe we'll just do that. And we're going for a drive. So what's it like driving the Sonata N-Line? Well, look, the specs are pretty simple. Turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 2.5 liter. Puts out 290 horsepower at 5,800 RPM, 311 pound-feet of torque. That's pretty much the kicker, from 1,650 to 4,000 RPM. Essentially meaning that this thing's torque curve and power delivery is sustained just about throughout the entire power band. 8-speed wet dual clutch system is the only transmission available. So nobody can complain that there's no manual transmission. There isn't. But what there is traction control. An impressive amount of get up and go. This is why I was saying that a full-fat Sonata N is pretty much a bad idea. There's no room left in this car for, say, another 50 or 60 horsepower and that much more torque. Speaking of torque, surprisingly, I have yet to discover significant, if any, real hint of torque steer, despite all that power going to the front wheels only. I mean, you have to be doing something completely stupid like being full lock and putting the hammer completely down in order to ruffle the feathers of the front axle. But the power is really nice, sustained, nice strong push all the time, and that's just a normal drive mode. And it just gets a little bit more violent as you go from Sport to Sport Plus. And 8-speed is fairly quick to react. I mean, I have nothing regretful to say about the powertrain, other than one thing. It's not related, but it is. It's the synthesized engine notes. At low RPM, the bass is so deep that it just becomes an annoyance after a few minutes. I despise these systems, but otherwise, maybe what's important is that on the outside, it actually sounds good. So I guess they kind of cancel each other out. A few other things that make the N-Line different or more capable performance-wise than the regular Sonatas is stiffer engine mounts, stiffer transmission mounts, revised spring rates, sway bars, and all of that, which have a mildly negative impact on the drivability of the car. If you take it through the city on a regular basis and the roads are not as perfect as the ones we are on right now, it kind of gets, I don't want to say jarring, but let's just say that that little initial level of comfort that we all like to smooth out uneven road surfaces is lacking. I don't want to say severely, but you know, it's not necessary is what I'm trying to say. This also has bigger brakes over the regular Sonatas, and the brake pedal feel is fantastic. Very little travel. I mean, you pile on the speed, you get on the brakes, everything works out beautifully. They cancel each other out as well. Steering, like the Elantra. I don't know, something went down. I'm back in normal because I was in Sport. There's very little of that traditional, I guess at this point, on-center slack. It's actually a little bit more present than the Elantra, which is funny or surprising, but at least it loads up progressively when you turn in. Look, some of the country roads we've been driving on so far today have been entertaining, to say the least, and the Sonata feels completely at home on these surfaces, through these curves. It's, like I said, it's a capable, very sporty, surprisingly quick performance mid-size sedan, and considering how much kit you get for $38,000 and the power, it's a good bang, a good literal bang for the buck.